Hello everybody, Toreno here, and today we are taking a look at the S701, which is the main naval prize of the Her Majesty's Hussar Battle Pass. Now, of course, unfortunately, this is one of the prizes that you need to buy the Battle Pass to unlock, and in addition to that, you need to get to level 38. And if you want to unlock the unique camouflage for it, the night camouflage, you need to get to level 41. And there is the camouflage. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't come with any other camouflage, just the standard and this one. Now, this is a rank 3 vehicle, and it is coming in at battle rating 2.7, which is the same as the S100 1944. And to be honest, I think this is an upgrade from the S100 and more of a side grade from the S100 1944. Basically, the S100 has the same armament, but it has a 20mm cannon at the front, not the 30mm. Whereas the 1944 doesn't have the 3.7cm gun here, but it has a lot more flak. It has a quad flak 20mm at the back here. Now, of course, the main feature of this is that it has a lot more torpedoes, and it has 2 torpedo launchers at the rear, which is something that isn't really seen in the German torpedo boats. And as you can see here, it does actually carry the torpedo reloads on the main deck. I'm not entirely sure if these will act as an ammo rack, so if you take a shot to them, then the whole boat will just explode into a million pieces. But obviously, that is something to keep in mind when facing the enemy. In addition to the 6 torpedoes, it can also carry 6 depth charges, which can be used in quite quick succession, and obviously adds to the firepower of the vessel. In addition to that, you've got your 3.7cm flak gun here, you've got a twin 20mm cannon here, you've got 2 7.92mm machine guns. They've got very limited firing arcs on the port and starboard side of the vessel, and at the front you've got a 30mm Mark 103 38 cannon. Now, of course, this is a small boat, so armour is practically non-existent. You've got some hardened armour around the bridge area and around the gun shields, but other than that, it's, not particularly well armoured. The speed is about the same as the S100 and the 1944 variant at about 41 miles per hour or 66 kilometers an hour, so a pretty speedy boat, especially once it's been upgraded. I mean, obviously, this is a premium vessel, so you will have all the modifications installed when you get it, but of course, at the moment, it's just showing it with its stock stats. And like with the S100 1944, this has 31 crew, so it's going to be relatively easy to knock this vessel out by killing the crew, but like I say, it is just an E-boat, a torpedo boat, so it's not exactly going to be the most survivable thing anyway, especially if you take a large caliber hit. And lastly, it displaces 124 tons. Now we're going to give this a quick test sail just to test out the weapons and the torpedoes. And here are your standard ammo loadouts. It's pretty much the same as on the regular German torpedo boat, so API shells, high explosive, incendiary tracer, them sort of ammunition types. Now the first thing I'm going to show off is the torpedo reload rate. So we're going to fire all 4 torpedoes, or all our forward torpedoes quickly. So there's 2. And the reload rate seems to be about 15 seconds from actually firing, or about 10 seconds from the reload animation starting on the bottom there. And of course, your torpedoes are actually on the deck, so you can actually see these disappear as they're reloaded. So we've already fired all 4 torpedoes forward. We did that in about 20 seconds. And we'll quickly show off the turn time, so how quickly you can get your rear torpedoes off. It's not the fastest turn-in speed in the world, but it's okay. I mean, to be fair, it's a boat. They don't particularly turn quickly. And so we've quickly fired our rear torpedoes. I know that wasn't particularly well aimed, just for demonstration. And the animation doesn't seem to show up on the rear torpedoes, or at least on the last salvo of them, which is a bit annoying, but not the end of the world either. And so we fired our whole torpedo complement in under a minute. So that's a quite good amount of torpedoes to get into the water. And of course, we are on a speedy vessel. And if you want to set yourself up in an ambush situation, you could just reverse your boat or have it pointing with the stern towards the enemy. Maybe have it on low speed, fire your torpedoes, and then quickly whack yourself up to full speed, and then get out of there. And of course, we've also got the depth charges. Like I say, these can be deployed relatively quickly. There we go. That can catch some enemies unaware. We'll show off the broadside quickly against this vessel. And we've quickly crippled and then destroyed it. Now, the only really bad thing, or it's not really a bad thing, but disadvantage to this vessel is the 30mm gun on the front. Because we've only got a few shots in it. So we'd already fired some shots against that vessel there. But as you can see, it does need to reload very often. So quickly fire at this again. It does a lot of damage. So, you know, it is an effective weapon, but it just can't fire enough shells down range. Of course, in a very close range engagement, that's not going to be such a problem because most of your shots are going to be hitting directly against the enemy. Whereas at long range, you're possibly going to be missing some shots. But obviously, it's still an effective weapon, but personally, I'd prefer a 20mm with a bit more ammunition. And as you can see, this is the reference model, so this has got all the upgrades installed, so our top speed is now 48 miles per hour, which, you know, it being a premium, it's going to have all of its unlocks. It's going to have all of its parts unlocked straight away anyway, so that is a good advantage over the regular S100s. And then, of course, we've got an artillery strike or battleship strike, so you can also use that against more heavier vessels if you get the chance to, along with your torpedoes. So anyway, that is the S701. And I think this is a very good naval prize. Like I say, the only disadvantage is the lack of ammunition on this Mark 103. But other than that, this is a very good vessel. And I think this is an excellent naval prize for the Her Majesty's Hussar Battle Pass. But anyway, just a quick video for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I've been Terreno, and I'll see you next time.